Not every woman is qualified to marry, because when you are dealing with a woman, you have girls and you have ladies, then you have wives. These are three categories of women. Those who are girls are not yet mature to marry, and we'll deal with that on another day. Those who are ladies have come of age, but they are still not mature to be married, because age is not maturity. Because the Bible didn't say marry a lady, because you don't become a wife when you are married. You become a wife before you are found. And so if you are not a wife, you are not qualified to be found. In Proverbs
These things are absolutely BS, because at the end of the day, there is no truth in this. Sometimes I feel like I don't, just to be, no, fuck respect, these people outrightly lie, right? Because a person is only a wife when you're married. A wife is a married female. A girl is a female child that is still a child. A lady is any female, right, or any woman who is above that age of being a girl. And it doesn't matter going forward, this girl, lady, wife and all, it's just an age and marital status thing. These people are speaking English, right? And sometimes you wonder why people sit in church and they are so confused. Because how are you educated? You have access to the dictionary, and these things that these people say makes any sense to you. Now let's even go back in time. All this preparation that they are telling you as a Christian woman to prepare, a wife is not who they've married yet, is somebody who is marriable, somebody who has prepared herself for marriage. In the Bible, women literally were getting married at a young age. Some people till this day get married at a young age. There is no biblical context to what these people are even saying. So there's nothing like that. The only person in the Bible, the only women in the Bible that prepared for marriage is not even necessarily preparing for marriage. They were preparing because, one, Esther, she was preparing because she literally got trafficked. So they had to prepare her to meet the king, right? She was going there to be an object of sex to that man. So they were preparing her to be presentable. That is one. The second person is Ruth. And that is because she met this man, her mother-in-law, they would literally of hunger if she does not eventually, because they were drowning in poverty. So they were targeting that man. That was why they prepared. So it's not like she was preparing for marriage. She was just preparing for the man to be attracted to her. And aside from that, there is no place in the Bible that says a woman has to prepare for marriage. Marriage, as much as they like to spiritualize it and make this entire thing sound big and sound like there are depths to it, there is no depth to what marriage is, other than the fact that marriage is a social institution or a social construct, right? And for people who have been hearing me talk about marriage not being an institution, I understand what I'm saying, because if you've been on my life, I've explained that before. Marriage is a social institution or a social construct. It is not the spiritual thing. And that is why, because they try to spiritualize this thing, they will be telling you, oh, a man is this, oh, a woman is this. And every day is like onion. The more you peel, it's like the less you understand. The more you peel, the less you understand. They confuse people.
Should I also add that there is no such a thing as a qualification for marriage? The only thing that qualifies people for marriage is age. As long as you're above the legal age, you're already qualified for marriage. And there is a person for everybody. I have seen drunk people marry other drunk people with lasting marriage. I have seen other people who are not religious with long-lasting marriage. And at any given point, they like to quote divorce cases. Hope you know that even very religious people are getting divorced. We have people like Chris Kilome who have been preaching about marriage, claim to know what it takes to have the gospel or the religious or the godly type of marriage. The marriage ended up in divorce. We have people like Benny Hinn, Bishop Duncan Williams in Ghana. These are people who teach about marriage. They are all divorced. They are all religious people who claim to know what it takes to have the right kind of marriage. In fact, they have the audacity to teach about marriage. And this guy just got married like how many years ago? I think 3 years ago that he just got married, and all of a sudden he seemed to be the Paul that is always teaching about marriage these days. Marriage, just like any other relationship, can either last long or it doesn't, and there is no such a big deal about it. That is how life is. All this trying to complicate the idea of marriage would not help us. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Divorce rates will keep on increasing as long as this system we have that we call marriage exists, as long as the patriarchy exists, gender roles exist. Divorces will happen, and the more y'all preach to women, the more divorces that will happen. The level at which women are equipped and prepared for intimate relationships and men are not, I feel like men don't even deserve women. And the audacity of him to say not every woman qualifies to get married. They put men to be like men are some prize that women should aspire to achieve or something, that a woman has to outdo herself in order for a man to pick her. My darling, there is nothing interesting about men for you to want to do anything to be qualified to be picked. The same people who make women feel like if they don't get married, they've done something wrong. If you believe that men are all that, stop indoctrinating women into believing that if they don't get married, their lives are over. Let them be, and let's see who desires marriage the most.